You are listening to Hope Road Radio, a youth-produced station and podcast. I'm Nicole Pritchett, the Executive Director of Hope Road Organization, and I'm elated to introduce to you Hope Road Radio. Hope Road Radio was built to create opportunity for youth to dialogue and engage with the community. It's an introduction to a group of special kids who commit themselves to planning and the execution and doing something worthwhile. Learning teamwork and technology, engaging and learning their community and themselves. What you're about to hear is the first of 10 shows produced by the youth in Hope Road. This is our first episode and a wonderful first interview. Our hosts, Eric and Noel, interviewed Third Perk Coffee House and Wine Bar owner Juanita Michelle Darden. You are now on the road to hope.
Hi guys, how are you?
We are doing good. So, what inspired you to start your business?
Well, I was inspired to start my business because there was not a place in the area where I could hang out with me and my friends. There wasn't a place where I could meet. There was no place on the west side of Dayton where I could get premium coffee. So I really set out to create a business that I was going to enjoy, that I would share with the city.
Would you say that is the best thing you've done in your life so far?
Oh, wow. So that's hard to say because I have 3 wonderful children who I love immensely, which they gave me some of my better gifts through my grandchildren. So it's hard to say that Third Perk is the best thing that I've done in my life, but it is truly, it really has changed my life.
I do have a question though.
Okay.
If you don't mind me asking. But before you decided that you wanted to open a coffee shop, was there anything else that you truly wish you would have did?
Well, just to give you a little background on me, I am an educator. So I've been teaching in the city of Dayton since 2002. So I started at Middledale High School where I taught Algebra 1. I've taught geometry, and then I went to the college level where I am still teaching on the college level. So even though I run a business and it is pretty much a full-time obligation, I'm also full-time faculty member at Clark State College. So I'm an assistant professor at Clark State.
Well, we love a multi-talented black queen.
Well, hello, and I'm going to snap it up for myself. Hey.
Are there any locations that you want to open in the future?
We're going to be opening at the Fairfield Commons Mall within the next 30 days. So we'll still have 3 locations online, and I'm hoping that this Fairfield Commons store will be our first $1 million store. So we're hoping that it will have amazing revenue and that it changes the scope of how and just how we do business. The next move for Third Perk would be a drive-through location. So to find a space where we could have just 100% drive-through, and it would have to be in a very high traffic area, very visible area, but that would be my next move for the company.
Third Perk is your legacy? Like, what you'll be leaving your mark on the world with Third Perk?
Third Perk is a part of my legacy. I have a very high interest in, I'll call it real estate development. So one of the goals that I have is taking blighted areas, so areas that are depressed or buildings that aren't being used or spaces that are underutilized, and make them beautiful and make them useful and attractive. So there are some projects that I'd like to see happen in the city of Dayton, and that's going to kind of help me transition my way into becoming a real estate developer / investor.
What is your story?
What is my story?
Yes.
So, I'm a Dayton native, graduate of Dayton Public Schools. I've graduated from the University of Dayton, the University of Cincinnati, from Franklin University.
What are your degrees in?
I have a degree in business administration. I have a degree in educational leadership, where I could be a principal if I chose. And I have a degree in education with a focus in mathematics.
I ask everyone this question that has a degree. Do you feel like your degree was beneficial for the things that you do now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't be a college professor without the degrees or the letters behind my name. So that is a necessary part of my story, having the degrees. Having a degree changed my life. So before I was in education, I spent a lot of time in retail. So when I was going through college, I worked retail positions. And one day I made $12.50. I got a degree, and I was offered a position with the same company making, I think it was like maybe $32 per hour. So that degree was the difference between, what was that? What's the difference between 31 and 12? $19. So that degree earned me $19. Extra an hour. So you do hear people say that, degrees don't pay off and things like that. In my case, my degree changed my life. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you were discriminated against?
Oh, absolutely. I am a dark African American woman. So being a dark African American woman that's a whole different, that could be a very different way of discrimination, because you do have discrimination against people who are non-black, but then you also have discrimination for people who are also African American, because you're a darker African American. So there's levels to discrimination. So.
Have you ever wished that you weren't as dark as you are now?
Girl, look at me. I'm cute. I know some white girls, some yellow girls, some orange girls, some whatever color girls that could never be as cute as me. Hey, look, let me look at myself. Let me look at myself.
Now she's pulling out a camera.
I am.
I have one more question before I pass it off to Eric.
Okay.
What do you have? Do you have any words of inspiration for, insecure girls that aren't as confident as you when it comes to, being black or starting a business or just things of that nature?
So, number one, I don't want you to believe that I was always so confident. So I'm a 50-year-old woman who has experienced a lot. I can't say that I was always able to walk into a room and command it. Today, when I walk into a room, I command it. I walk into a room with authority, as if were you guys waiting on me? I'm here now. There was times when I was much younger when I wouldn't want to even enter a room by myself, because of insecurities or what have you. The thing that we do when we get to know ourselves, when you understand what makes you happy and understand that really you're in control of your happiness, like happiness is a mood. When you wake up in the morning, it's a decision that you make. and it's really that simple. I learned like in my early 20s that I was in control of my own happiness. And when I recognized that I was in control of my own happiness, and it didn't matter what anybody else did, I was in control of my happiness. And if someone came about and they did anything to deter my happiness, I had an option. I could either rock with that person who was intentionally trying to make my life miserable, or I could go another direction, even if it was alone, and pursue my own happiness. So you have to always understand that you're in control of that. And that's why, like, even when you have people who are bothering you or teasing you or mistreating you, you steer away from those people. It's that simple. It's like, oh, you don't make me feel so great about myself. When I see you coming, maybe I should go the other way. And it's not being a punk. It's not being, it's not running. It's really preserving your own self. Because some people, it's not even worth the time to deal with them.
Who are some people that like inspired you? I know you were talking about your sister.
Who inspired me? Let's see. I remember working under Idotha Bootsy Neal, who was the first African American Dayton City Commission member. She was the first African American woman sitting on the Dayton City Commission. She was very inspiring to me because I worked with her when she was actually running for office. So I learned about the political process. I learned what it meant to run for office. And I learned by watching her how difficult it was and how much of yourself you have to put into a political race. Women like Dr. Karen Townsend is very inspirational to me. She is a woman who has a goal to inspire women. So she walks around all day lifting other women up. For me, that's inspiring. And then you have women like Nicole Pritchett, who is the director of Hope Road. She's one